Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. It's a bit of a rant, but it's necessary. Do the standards change when it comes to Arsenal? Do the rules change when it comes to Arsenal? Do referees have a different book when it comes to Arsenal? So this was Erling Haaland celebrating his goal, not his goal actually, John Stones' goal in the second half to make it 2-2, and he clearly picks the ball from the back of the net and throws it onto the head of Gabriel Magalhaes. The Premier League have released a statement and they have said that there will be no further action, and there was deemed to be no reason for a card or any action to be taken by the referee. That is not a bookable offense. Throwing the ball on top of your opponent, provoking, whatever, that is not a bookable offense, okay? But at some point in time, when you do not hear the whistle earlier enough and you try to play in your opponent and the referee sees it clearly that you're trying to play in your opponent, but you've literally not had the whistle, that is another bookable offense, and that is a reason for you to be sent off. I don't understand. Now, exactly what I don't understand is about Michael Oliver. Because Michael Oliver is an absolute disgusting, stinking guy that has the worst double standards I've ever seen in a Premier League referee. And don't get me wrong, I do like Michael Oliver. I really, really do like him. I still think he's a very, very good referee. I just don't understand it. Why, when it comes to Arsenal games, he is the guy that is going to crumble and make a lot of mistakes. Actually, not only on Arsenal games, but on a big stage. Last season, Michael Oliver had to give Liverpool a penalty because I think it was Jeremy Doku. He puts his very high, his feet very high, and it's in the chest of McAllister, and that is not a pen, right? Liverpool get robbed there. Michael Oliver is the same guy last season that should have sent off Kovacic because Kovacic, for some reason, Kovacic picks up a yellow card against Odegaard. It was a bad foul against Odegaard. Could have been a red. That's deserving. And then he picks up he should pick up another yellow card because he does the same tackle against Declan Rice. On that occasion, Kovacic stays on the pitch. And the explanation from Howard Webb and the explanation from the Premier League referee body is that we don't want to ruin the game. The referee doesn't want to ruin the game earlier on. It's a big game. It's a massive game. It's a massive fixture. So the referee doesn't want to ruin it, and therefore what he does, he doesn't give, he doesn't take off Kovacic. Okay, that is understandable. Michael Oliver is the same referee that gave Gabriel Martinelli a red card by showing him 2 yellow cards within 1 second. Right? He books him for offense number 1. He books him for offense number 2. Within 1 second, he sends him off. I've just seen the clip back and I'm like, okay, if you're the referee, this is what you're thinking. Martinelli commits a foul. It's a bookable offense, yes. And then you let play run, okay? And then he commits another, right, during that course. So you've got no choice. Either you've got to book him once and you put him on his last warning, or he's already got to your nerves and you take him off. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that Arsenal players are doing the right things as well. No. You shouldn't be interfering with play if the ball has been judged and ruled to be the opponent's. Right? You do not have to interfere with play. You don't have to kick the ball away. We know that, and we know that very well. And hence, we are seeing very many yellow cards around the Premier League because of that. But what I'm trying to say is, why do the rules bend when it comes to other clubs, and why do we stick by the rules, if that is, when it comes to Arsenal? Why is it that when we are playing other teams, and another player from the opponents kicks the ball away, Joao Pedro against Brighton, Joao Pedro doesn't get booked. But when it's an Arsenal player, they will get booked and they will get sent off. It's something that I need to understand. Ever since Arsenal started challenging again, one of our biggest obstacles has been VAR and has been poor officiation. That is from the first season when we crumbled under pressure and failed to win the league. We dropped so many points in that season because of bad refereeing. Last season, it is the same story. Newcastle, a ball that had gone out of play, and then they found an explanation for this and that, and all that kind of nonsense. So I don't understand why we have double standards when it comes to Arsenal. I don't understand. Is there a clear agenda from the PGMOL and the VAR against Arsenal? And if there is, why do we have a clear agenda on a team that has not won a Premier League title in 20 years? Why do we have an agenda on such a team? Why do we have an agenda on a team that is clearly not as good as Manchester City? Why do we have an agenda on a team that is just coming back? If we were Manchester United, they would say, we're trying to stop you. You've won the league and you're making it uncomfortable and you're making it ugly and you're making it a one-team league. Therefore, we are trying to stop Man United from creating a monopoly of the Premier League. You would understand. Or Manchester City, we are trying to stop Man City from creating a monopoly of the brand that is Premier League. We would understand. But Arsenal, a few years ago, we were a team that was feared for that we might actually even lose our sole purpose of being a top 4 team and hence starting, falling into the ranks of Tottenham and falling into the ranks of Brighton. And now that we've come back, the Premier League is our biggest problem. The referees are our biggest problem. The VAR is our biggest problem. I just can't wrap my head around it. Now, let's talk about the red cards that we've got this season. Are they unfair? Yes, 100%. They are unfair. So the Declan Rice red card, and why I didn't talk about it is because I really wanted to understand the letter of the law. I really wanted to see how do other referees handle this. It is not on every occasion that the referee has sent a player off because of that. So I wanted to understand the letter of the law before I reacted to it, right? Rice is cautiously moving away from the ball, right? A Brighton player throws the ball into the feet of Declan Rice, right? So how is he going to... And there are acres of space behind Declan Rice. There are acres of space either side of Declan Rice. And mind you, that ball is not put there, right? He doesn't throw that ball in order to give it to an opponent, right? He's not trying to pass that ball. He's trying to actively cause commotion, and the referee falls for it. So that is real disgusting standards. Absolute stinking standards, right? That's number one. Number two, the Leandro Traore one. Now, I will sympathize more with Leandro Traore than I will sympathize with Declan Rice. And with Declan Rice, why I won't sympathize with him is that I look at him there, he's moving, yes, the ball has been played into him, and he gives it a little bit of, a knock, and that's why he's sent off. So he kind of kicks the ball away, right? Not to delay time, not really, but it's the letter of the law. With Leandro Traore, it reminded me of the Robin van Persie vibes, right? It reminded me of the Robin van Persie vibes. Robin van Persie against FC Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League, remember, he's moving towards goal, he's through on goal, and he's trying to score with his weaker right foot. Referee says offside. He kicks the ball towards the goal. He doesn't kick it away, he kicks it towards goal, right? Yellow card. So what I want to understand here is the Leandro Traore scenario is the same. So you are telling me that I am trying to play the ball, right? I'm already in action. I'm already in movement to play the ball. But then the referee expects me to instantly, like, even robots can't, to instantly stop, freeze, and move back like a robot and give the ball to. It's impossible. And why that is why I sympathize with Trossard. Arsenal are playing a kind of system, a kind of strategy where you had to be quick on transition, and Gabriel Martinelli was already showing him he was going through. So Trossard had to be agile as possible, as agile as possible. It's not a red card. It's not even a yellow card. It's not a yellow card. If he gave him the yellow card for maybe the offense, maybe we will understand. But the Premier League has said time wastage. No, please give us another reason. Because he's not trying to waste time there. He's seen his teammate, and that is what we're trying to do in that game. So he's already in movement. He kicks that ball, and all of a sudden he reacts to the whistle. He turns, it's a red. How do you explain that? Like, he reacts, right? He reacts to the whistle. And for some reason, he turns, he sees red. I just can't understand it. So for me, I have a problem with the rule in general. Like, generally, I have a problem with this. You kick the ball away, you get a red card. You get a yellow card. I have a problem with that. I think it should be... I don't like VAR, you know that. But this should be a VAR issue. And this should be a VAR issue because, yes, it's a yellow card offense, and therefore VAR has no reason to intervene. But it should be cleared onto the list of things VAR can activate. And why I think it's a VAR issue is this. We should be trying to look for intention. Honestly, we should be trying to look for intention. Are we really trying to waste time, or is in motion and then he kicks the ball away? So if I'm trying to make a pass and then I hear the whistle and I don't stop, right? That's okay. But if the ball has been played, a decision has been taken, and play stops, and then someone kicks the ball away, well and good. That's a yellow card. So, for me, I don't like the rule. I don't like the execution of the rule. I don't like the implementation mechanism of this rule. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know whether it's about to grab headlines on this Premier League thing. And I know, I think Arsenal really, really are going to suffer because the Premier League has made its brand out of media scandals and filth. So if you're Arsenal and your top brand, Man City, nobody talks about Man City. Like, Rodri has suffered an injury that keeps him out for the rest of the season. And everybody's like, okay. They'll find a way. Not because they're big, because no one really is interested in Man City until they win something. But if you're Man United and you're Arsenal and you're Liverpool, there is a lot of interest in your press. There's a lot of interest in the news you make. And the Premier League is driven by news. It's driven by big headlines. It's driven by, scandal. So at some point in time, Arsenal are going to fall victims. Whenever Arsenal fail to win the title, it makes bigger news than Arsenal winning the title, right? Because if Arsenal won the title by 9 points, we say, okay, we expected it, they had a good season. But if they fail, Arsenal bottle it, the media rage, they ramp, they laugh, they play comics, makes more news. Yeah. So I think we are falling victims of that. Because I don't understand why it's one club that is, facing all these crazy double standards. This kind of clean discipline where Arsenal players have not been picking up red cards for quite a long period of time. And then you tell me that we've picked up 2 red cards within 3 games, in a space of 3 games, right? 3 games. And those red cards have been because of indiscipline, like Arsenal players kicking the ball away. Does that make sense? Like, can you explain it to someone that a team that has gone 2 seasons without picking up a red card is now kicking the ball away in order to get red cards? Impossible. And you look at the players that getting this red card, Trossard and Rice. I mean, if it's I don't know who, Ben White, yeah, of course, he's a king of theatrics, dark arts. That's okay. Gabriel Magalhaes, that's okay. Ramsdale, that's okay. But you tell me that Trossard and Rice, the two most calm players in the side, are trying to waste time by kicking the ball away, and the two players on the red card. I'm amazed. If those two have picked up red cards, we should expect a red card for Kai Havertz. We should expect a red card for Gabriel Jesus. We should expect a red card for, I don't know, Partey. We should expect a red card for Ben White. Because I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand this agenda. And I tell you, I don't want to understand it. I want it to stop. I want to watch a game where I know my players are not going to pick up red cards. So the strategy that we've got to employ, stop playing into the referee's hands. Let's stop getting early red cards, early yellow cards, and stupid yellow cards as well.